Hi, Millie Marotta here to give you a little bit of an intro on my new book, Curious Creatures, which is here, and a little bit of background into how I go about creating a book and putting one together. So the idea for Curious Creatures really came about for me being very indecisive. I always struggle when I'm trying to choose which animals I should include in one of my books. There are just so many to choose from, all with their own unique characteristics and qualities, and that's really what got me thinking about selecting animals which really stood out to me, which were really remarkable to me for various reasons. So some were chosen for their unique physical appearance, some were chosen for their remarkable survival skills, others were chosen just for their peculiar behaviour. I researched thoroughly, that was my starting point. I used encyclopedias, reference books, old sketches of my own, pulled out old drawing books. Google came in very handy. I watched nature documentaries and clips. So I got my visual information and facts about the creatures from all sorts of different sources, and that's always my starting point, is research. I then narrow it down until I have got my complete list of creatures that I want to include in the book, and I begin to develop them into sketches which are part real and part imagination, so my own visual interpretation of those creatures themselves. So to give you a few examples from inside the book, we've got the duck-billed platypus here, which I just had to include in the book because it's just really one of my favourites. And I love to draw these floral style illustrations. I find them really quite hypnotic to do, almost. I'll always begin with sketching the entire animal out and making sure that I've got the form as correct as possible, and then really just enjoy using botanical and floral shapes to fill the form of the animal and try and sort of be suggestive of the actual shape and curves on the creature's body. Another example from the book is this character, the shoebill, which was a really interesting one for me because I really enjoyed the challenge. This is not a bird that is ever going to win any beauty contests, I don't think, in anyone's books. It's quite a prehistoric, bizarre looking creature, and I really enjoyed the challenge of creating my own interpretation of that would be really appealing and really attractive for people to colour. And then we've got this one, the Jackson's chameleon, which is actually the last illustration in Curious Creatures, and so I wanted to make this one a really, really full image for people to colour. And again, it was just sort of looking at the shape and the form of the creature, looking at the various scales on its body, the direction in which the scales run, and trying to create a part realistic, part imaginary creature, I guess. And by contrast, the page opposite, I've only filled in some of the background, and I quite like to do this throughout the book to give people a bit of variety and give people the opportunity to fill some of their own background in if they want to, or even just sort of continue mine, or they can leave it as it is. It's really about offering people variety. So all of the images in the book begin life as pencil sketches, and then they developed and developed and turned into something that's really, really very full and very busy. And then I move on to the final inked version. So yeah, there's just a few examples from the new book, Curious Creatures. I hope you've enjoyed a little snippet of a background into the idea behind the book and how I work. And thanks for watching.